everybody. Thanks for being here today. I was just admiring my plants here. These are a variety of primrose. These just look so lovely. All the different flowers. Nice start of spring here. These are fantastic for shade areas. And so I do have these around some areas of my yard that just don't get a whole lot of sun. But look at how lovely. You get two different colors on one plant. It's just a great way to come out into the cold and start my day. But I just wanted to check these out this morning. What we're going to be working on today, I've got so many things going on back here. If you may have noticed, my yard just looks a mess. We've reseeded the lawn. We're going to be having our garden area come Monday, prepared for the garden beds. However, today's video, let's go work on some mint. I want to show you what we're doing here. I've got this bad boy here of mint, and as you can see, it looks just rather lanky, rather on the gnarly side. It's got weeds, it's got a little moss. The new growth that is springing up honestly doesn't look all that fantastic. What I need to do is dump this out and actually divide this up. I'm going to assume that this is pretty root bound. So I want to divvy that up. I've got some fresh potting soil for this. So we're just going to dump it out, divide it up, and repot this. And I'm also going to pot this as well. As I divide it, I'm going to put it into a smart pot as well, just to separate this up, get this looking a little healthier, so that we can utilize our fresh mint throughout the season with mint water, mint tea, a variety of cooking items with the mint. So let's get started here. All right, here we go. Hopefully this comes out nice and easy. Whew. Look at that. Well, it smells nice and minty, but you can see here, I'm gonna roll this over to the side here, just how root bound this is. You can see all this new root growth here. Just look at all that new development. So what we are going to do is a couple of things. Got my container here. And I've got, again, some of my Whitney Farms potting soil. And I have a little bit of my Whitney Farms raised bed soil. So I'm actually just going to pour that in there. This in here. And what we're going to also do is add a little bit of our Espoma Garden Tone. Whew. Okay. Now, I'm just going to kind of clean up the top here. Get all these weeds out of here. Moss and everything.
One eternity later.
Alright, so here I'm just trying to clean up the top here and then decide where I'm gonna make my cuts. If I want to cut this in half or in thirds. I'm just trying to decide here. The nice thing is this is not as root bound as I thought it was going to be. So that's always nice, but still wanna get this divided up, get it healthier, it look pretty, and make a nice mess along the way here to just add to the disorder of my yard right now. Okay, let's see here. These, early spring is a great time to do all this because it has time to get established as the spring season goes on. If I were to do this in the middle of summer, it just wouldn't recuperate with enough time. If you don't do it in the spring, the other time to do it would be in the fall, kind of when it's getting ready to go, dormant for the season. I didn't do it over the fall, so now is when, obviously I have to get this done now. The other thing to do is make sure that you have, your container. Mint is a fast growing plant, so you want to make sure you have a pretty decent sized container for it. I'm going to repot it back into this one here. Again, adding some fresh soil to all of that. I will add more soil here in just a moment. And then I'm going to go ahead and plant in one of my smart pots as well. You could use a shovel and just divide it down with a shovel. Here, what I think I'm gonna do is roll it on its side here. I have my shears. Let me see if that'll work. And this is so nice and soft because it's just been watered with all the rain. Just this top part here, it's a little stiffer there. All right, some more weeds there. Beautiful. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this piece here, we're gonna pop it back into the pot. Make sure all the roots are nice and loose. This is lovely, ever so lovely. Again, if I really wanted to, I can even cut this down again and basically quarter this entire mint plant here. I think I'm just gonna half it and go from there. So let's fill that back in. Slow release fertilizer is great for this. So the Espoma garden tone is what I used. And then as the season goes, I could even do, which I will do, is a side dress with a fish emulsion to keep that nicely fed. Beginning of the spring season, you do want to be sure that you are fertilizing. Even along my fence line here, I have my flowers that are my perennial plants. Those are also going to get a good feeding as well. soil here. Put that along the top here. Very, very easy, very simple thing to do. Like I said, I just hadn't gotten around to doing this. But that's one other thing off the garden checklist I can mark off. And I'm not going to water this. Ideally, you would water after you divide, repot, transplant, what have you, but it is going to be raining pretty good. Maybe later today, but for sure tomorrow. So I'm just gonna let nature take care of this for me. Now, if you have mint at home and you're like, wow, I can't use all this mint, you know what? After you divide it, give some to a neighbor if you want to. The nice thing with mint is it is a very fast grower, but I always keep mint in a container. It will take over your garden. If you don't mind having your entire garden overrun with mint, feel free to plant it directly into the ground. It is quite an invasive plant, so keeping it in a container is always best. It doesn't, again, overrun things. But boom, this is it. Doesn't look like much right now, but believe me, as the season goes on, it's going to really do its thing. So that one is done. Now what we're gonna do with this other one here. I think I'm gonna divide this one more time. And then I'm gonna put it into a smart pot here. So we're just gonna take this one right down the middle here. So I'll put this on its side. With the soil being so soft, I could probably just even gently tease it apart here. There's a really good root right here, so I will use my shears for that. And this should, like I said, should recover ever so nicely here. Whew, look at that root system here. Beautiful. Okay. Now, I'm just gonna take my pot here. I'm gonna take some of the soil out here for just a moment. And despite that it's still just blooming and, you know, doing its thing, it smells so fragrant right now, which is really nice. I'm gonna kind of shake off some of this soil here, because I really want to see just how big this root ball is. You do want to kind of loosen things up. You don't want to just shove it in there all jam-packed together. You want to allow those roots to reach for space. This does not look like the prettiest of transplants right now. Again, it's gonna do so nice. And get some fresh soil in here. Oh, and forgive me, I forgot to add a dabbage of this. I'm not wild about the way this smells. Working that into my soil there. Just put some of the soil right back on top here. Boom. Voila. Number 2. And then we have number 3 here. And let me grab a container for this one. All right, everybody, that is it for today's video on dividing my mint. You know, I ended up with 3 plants, and the more I thought about it, the more I just realized, you know, I don't really need a third, because for my family of 4, 1 plant is sufficient, 2 is more than enough. So I did kind of toss it in the yard waste there, but that's okay. Anyhow, thanks for hanging in here with us today. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button for us down there, okay? And any comments, be sure you put them in the comment section down below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.